Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today, we are looking at Turkley, Redmond, and Rosico. Exposure to mercury causes workplace illnesses in New York. A New York company that endeavors to eliminate the threat posed by hazardous waste on the environment has been found to be oblivious to life-threatening dangers to which its workers are exposed. And mercury, as we know, is a pretty bad toxin. When it comes to heavy metals like lead, it can cause a lot of issues. So what happened here? Investigation by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration was launched after complaints were filed by employees of the Environmental Remediation Services. Upon completion of the inquiry, OSHA reported that employees of the company were exposed to chemicals that could cause workplace illness. So OSHA investigators determined employees were exposed to mercury during operations at the electrical power and water plant in New York. Especially if you want to keep your employees safe, you don't want them to be exposed to high levels or any levels of mercury or lead or these types of heavy metals. So while workers were removing mercury from the plant, they were reportedly exposed to excessive mercury vapor that were absorbed or inhaled. Liquid mercury was also absorbed through the workers' skin. So mercury can be absorbed in different ways. You can drink it. It can also come from the air, but it's something to keep in mind. Now, according to OSHA, the company failed to protect workers by assessing the hazards and then providing protective equipment, addressing ventilation and problems, and the agency determined that resulting workplace illnesses suffered by employees could have been prevented if the company managers had not refused to monitor exposure to mercury. So, however they're getting exposed to mercury through water, vapor, through other issues, either breathing it in, even drinking it, that's something that could be prevented, and sadly wasn't. The final report indicates that consequences were preventable, and a $142 to $200 penalty was proposed. So that's quite a lot of money and quite a lot of time, quite a lot of issues that could have been prevented. Well, this New York company will likely pay the fine and be done with it, because to a lot of big companies that is not a huge thing. The victims of toxic waste exposure may have long-term medical problems. A workplace illness can cause extended periods of absence, substantial medical expenses, not to mention all the suffering as well and the other problems that happen. And also to help victims cope with these unanticipated financial obligations, the workers' compensate insurance company provides benefits that will cover the cost of medical treatment and a percentage of lost wages, proving that such an illness is work-related, may be difficult, and the services of experienced workers' compensation attorney may be helpful. So, just in a nutshell, it's very, very dangerous, especially when workers are exposed to mercury, lead, or anything else, and they can be exposed in a number of different ways. And one of these places was a water plant. So it's always a good idea to periodically test your water and have water samples tested for high levels of mercury.